Guys, listen, you know the drill by now. Stop being stupid bastards and head to www.patreon.com/Sly Guy Podcast, where you get to look inside my treasure chest. You get to see what's inside my wee sneaky box. And you know what that is? Gifts for you. We've got the extra Sly Guy Podcast out every Monday in audio format. You get the guest episode, which is out every single Friday. You get early access to the Sly Guy Podcast as well as vlogs. There's going to be my new show, Bits and Pieces, going up there imminently. It's all over there for as little as £2 a month. So if you want to see inside my box and you want to fiddle with all my belongings, head on over to www.patreon.com/Sly Guy Podcast. As always, the Sly Guy Podcast is brought to you in association with Modest Beer. That's right, Modest Beer. The beer's brewed right here in Hollywood before they got too fucking big footy boots and moved to a proper brewery somewhere. I'm not allowed to know the location in case I go and steal all their amazing Modest products. But if you want to go and get some of their amazing Modest products, head on over to their website, www.modestbeer.co.uk, where you can see all the ranges of beers and all the ranges of merch. So you can buy some sweet t-shirts, some sweet hoodies. You can buy a bag or a hat if that's all you need to wear, maybe just a bag and a hat. Get your big scrote or your big minge out and just live your best Modest life. But you can get it all at their website. And if you want to know some Modest news, you want to keep on top of things, subscribe to their brews letter where you get an up-to-date email of anything going on in the world of Modest. Or if you're just like, I don't know, a millennial or like a Gen Z type social media guy and you couldn't be arsed going www, just follow them on social media at Modest Beer.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to the Sly Guy Podcast with me, your solo host, Dave Elliott. But this is not a solo episode. I'm just here telling you that I have a guest this week in the podcast, and my guest is the wonderful Jordan Robinson. We had a great chat again. I must admit it was a bit random in parts, but that's what I love. So guys, buckle your wee seatbelts in, boop boop, and ride your wee fucking boats, or I don't know what the fuck you guys ride something, just ride it all the way to fucking happiness in your ears town with this week's episode of the Sly Guy Podcast with me and the son of the trend, Jordan Robinson.
When I was in Florida, we were packing up, like we were staying in a villa for like a week, and my parents were trying to find me, and I was in bed sleeping, and nobody could find me, and they ended up ringing the police because where we were staying was right beside this like big bayou place, and they thought I had like wandered in and got like either abducted or eaten by a crocodile or something like that.
And where were you? Just in bed?
Just in bed.
I'll never wonder why like parents don't look into beds first of all for the kids.
Yeah, that's
you know.
Yeah, that's what Jerry and Kate should have done first, straight off the bat.
Yeah, you know they should, that makes me sad. But what I will say is like I knew when, God bless me, and God have mercy on me, but I knew whenever Shannon Matthews appeared in the news, no one's taking her.
See, I think I met. When was this? The whole Shannon Matthews thing.
I would have been like maybe in my late teens or early 20s when that happened.
Shit, so a
good while ago now.
Oh yeah, but it was like, was it around the same time as?
It was. Madeline? I think it was a bit after Madeline disappeared.
Shit, serious?
I think so.
I always thought.
Let me look here because, Shannon Matthews. What a way to welcome to the podcast, guys. The disappearance of Shannon Matthews, which is actually the name of the sitcom I'm working on at the minute. Shannon Matthews. We should have actually rang Darren because it's his cousin. He would have been able to inform us kindly. When did she disappear? Where is it? 2008.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's whenever she.
That passed me right by. I thought that was. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more. The true crime I'm interested in is like, you know, all the historical stuff.
Yeah. I'm sorry, hold on a wee second. Shane's just sent me a picture saying I've been mugged and then sent me just the guy's butt, which is quite funny. So yeah, Shannon Matthews was 2008. Let me see. There we go. It's the kind of stuff that goes on. Disappearance of Madeline McCann. Nothing makes me sadder
than the whole Madeline McCann story.
2003. She disappeared. Yeah, because you know what? I think at the time, everyone always has an opinion on everything, don't they? And they're like, oh, the parents. And then at the time, I thought, the parents.
Oh, yeah.
See, then you have your own kids. You go, no way. You know, that totally changes.
Well, I can attest to I was about to say slippiness of kids.
I was wondering what you were going to say. I can attest to how hard it is to kidnap children. I mean,
So yeah, as I stand up, I look after kids, and I would
like officially.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I get paid for it.
I knew that, but I know they didn't. So right. Okay.
Yeah. So I look after a couple of kids, and yeah, I would lie if I say I've never lost them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, again, see, whenever you this is the thing too with internet sleuths, is they never have, like, they can't wait to give their 100% opinion with maybe 5% of facts.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, whenever when Madeline disappeared, they were like, and they were down at the pub. See, when you actually watched the documentary on Netflix, which I maybe made half an hour in and went, this is making me want to cry, I'm not watching it anymore, it was literally like 20 metres or 30 metres where they were to the bar from their flat. You know, you could full eyes on it. And you could probably, like, and again, back in those days, 2003 that was, things were a bit different, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
Because whenever I was a kid, I've said in this podcast many times, my parents just fucking put me to bed and then on the go, full night out. Like, and
yeah,
it was
100%.
You know,
and I had an older brother who was like kind of put in charge of me. But when I say older brother, he was 13 months older than me.
Yeah.
So when he was like 6, I was 5, and he was still looking after me.
your folks would have been like, let's
weird,
just stay to bed there, and you know, you'd been like, sweet, and you wouldn't have heard from them again till whatever. Like, and again, in our day as well, like, I think being a parent, you do it a bit later in life now. Like I think my dad was like 22 when I was born, which, you know, that's fucking mental. Like, he's a full child, you know what I mean? Like, and I remember him having mates around the house and all, and thinking they're like these big, and they were just getting blocked, just sitting at a table getting blocked, and then I was just seeing myself to bed, see in the morning. You know, it was like, it was a different time, but like, makes me, I hope, makes me sad. I'm not gonna think about it. But
my mum was 41 years old when she had me. Like, I think genuinely,
She bucked the trend?
It's called, that was my dad's name.
Yeah. The Trend Robinson. I mean, he definitely sounds like an NBA player, doesn't he? Titus the Trend Robinson.
His name's Leslie, so that would also work.
Leslie the Trend Robinson. That is a great name. Yeah. Like, you know what he sounds like? A Harlem Globetrotter. Showtime Gaffney gets the ball to Leslie the Trend Robinson. 3-pointer, baby.
Oh, fuck.
A lot of fun.
So technically, on my birth certificate, it says Leslie.
Yeah.
As my first name. So Leslie Jordan Robinson. The Jordan is named genuinely after Michael Jordan.
Right, okay. So then there you go.
It works.
a fellow baller, Leslie and MJ.
And I went with Jordan just because, like, in the house, it was easier instead of like calling for Leslie and both of us, you know.
Well, guess what? I'm also David. My dad's David. My granddad's David. They're all Davids, yeah.
You're David the third?
I'm actually the 7th.
What?
Yeah, I'm David the 7th. My lineage is
great-great-granddad? Or great-great-great-granddad?
I don't know. But I know I'm the 7th in a row. And like,
Fucking hell.
whenever I had girls, like, my sort of family were like disgusted by
The
me.
peanut?
But what I've decided is, like, I don't think you'll get a better David. That's what I say.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you won't get.
You broke the mold.
I've done it,
Yeah.
and that's it. So yeah, I was like, I'm the 7th in a row of the Davids, so it was a bit of pressure. But then my dad got Davy, and I just got David or son.
Or did you get like Dave normally, but David when you did something bad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No. In the house, I was always David.
Oh, okay.
Up until. I think I was a bit of I chose my own nicknames, you know.
Okay.
In fact, I didn't choose this nickname because that'd be weird. But whenever it was sort of around, like, maybe first year and stuff, people started calling me D.
D?
Which I was like, just refer to me as the D, you know. So I just got D for a while. And then when I sort of got to maybe 14, 15, I was like, D sounds like a wee boy. You know, I don't want to be D anymore.
D sounds like a wee boy or someone who works at a chip shop.
Yeah, exactly. and to be fair, one is a dream of mine. But I just want, you know what? I want to be known as Dave, because I thought David's a shit name. You know, it's like, I don't David. Like, you only get, like, anyone's called David's always kind of meek, aren't they? David. It's just, even you say that name, it just sounds like, David, come here, David. So I wanted Dave, and then I feel now I'm nearly hitting 40, I'm starting to transcend into Davy.
Davy, yeah.
So
yeah.
I think soon I'll be
Yeah,
Davy.
it's the natural progression of it. Like.
Yeah, and then I think once you get past Davy, you're David again, and then you're in a home and you're on end of life care and you die. You know, so
So it
that's
doesn't
kinda,
matter what they call you?
No, so I think that's where I'm at now.
Yeah,
So,
did you have any other like weird nicknames and stuff like that? Because you played rugby, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's normally always quite a lot of
D-LICIOUS?
D-LICIOUS?
Yeah.
That is also
Yeah.
sounds like a basketball name.
It
to be
does,
fair.
true. But I like you know when you were like you used to like write your your name and your logos and all in your
Oh, yeah,
books.
yeah.
I had like the big D/Licious.
Licious.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Not bad.
Well, yeah, I've never admitted to be called D-LICIOUS before, which is definitely what this episode will be called. D-LICIOUS.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
This is just what we want, isn't it? D-LICIOUS and the trend. That's what it's going to be called. The D-LICIOUS trend. I mean, yeah, it's fair. It's yeah. Well, how are you doing anyway? I don't know. How do we start? That's what it was. My wife sent me a photo of my child.
Oh.
It's snuck out because she'll do this. This is another thing, and this is a new bit I'm going to work on, by the way. So, to me, it's like who decided little girls were scary. Like, who was the first person to go, let's make these little fucks scary? Because my life's a horror film.
William Friedrich.
That son of a bitch.
I had that motherfucker, the guy who directed the
Yeah.
Exorcist, or did he write it? I can't.
He wrote it. I think he wrote it.
Yeah.
But yeah, whoever made little girls, and then like in The Shining as well, the two little girls are scary. Then
Terrifying.
you know. But it's like there was a moment that made me go, I need to make this into a bit, because Holly has started to go to what is it, a youth club thing, but it's affiliated to a church, so obviously there's some Christian teaching and stuff goes on about God and all, or she calls him Jesus. I'm like, it's a J, you know, it's not Jesus, but I mean, I like what you're doing there. But like, she would learn these wee things and like sing wee songs. Jesus Christ is born, Bethlehem. Like, that's a new one, I've never heard that one, but she'll just come out with shit like this. One night I got up for a piss in the middle of the night, turned on the light, she's standing in the hall, and I was like, oh fuck, near booted her down the stairs, and then she goes to me, Daddy, God loves you, and I was like, it's like, right, just go to bed. So I'm trying to make that into something, but they're scary. So what she had done is got up out of her bed tonight and snuck into our bed. Catherine's gone to get into bed and just had a full like fit that she's been there, like a little person's just in her bed.
Terrifying. Yeah, no, I don't think I'll ever be mature enough to have kids. Because I would just lock the house and run away.
Yeah, but you never are. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Anyone, it's like you're never prepared for kids. You just have them, and then you kind of have to have them. You know, it's like, I still believe, like I was speaking on a previous podcast, actually the guest episode that's going to come out tomorrow, if you're on Patreon, check it out, about how like I still feel like I have the same like intellect as I did when I was like 16.
Yeah, I would probably say the same thing.
Except all my body and life and responsibilities are just piled down on top of me. And it's like I'm like, I shouldn't have to, like, you know, when you have to phone, whenever people are like, you need a man to do that, I'm like, well, I still do require that man to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then like your wife, no one emasculates more than her. She's like, well, if you don't do it, I'll have to do it. And then I'm like, well, I fucking want to figure it out then, won't I? So that's a problem. I still feel like I have like my brain as a child, but all the responsibilities and stuff that, like taxes and all, like I should just be more like Jimmy Carr. Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. Not paying them.
Yeah. But then there's problems because you have to like do your tax bill, otherwise you can go to jail and all, man.
Sly.
You know, so sly.
I know. And everybody like blames Wesley Snipes for being the first one, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, Wesley Snipes.
He was one of the first ones to like go to jail for taxes.
Yeah, but if I was him, I would just be like, no, I'm Blade. And just they'd be like, what?
I don't know who this guy Wesley Snipes is.
Blade doesn't pay taxes. Which, by the way, this is such a niche reference. Have you ever seen Blade 3, Blade Trinity? When the wrestler Triple H is in it?
No, fuck.
No, he's the bad guy in it, but there's one line he says, and I don't know why it's so funny, but he's just there as full Triple H, and he just doesn't full Triple H voice. He goes, Blade, you're dead. And I just don't know why it's one of my favourite ever lines in a film, but it's great. And he's got the hair on and braid and all.
Oh, man.
Blade's a great film.
Yeah, no, it was like pretty much the first superhero movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
I mean, technically,
like cool one, because obviously you had like that guy that got maimed by a horse.
Oh,
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, I nearly called Christopher Walken there, but that's because it's a joke, which is also so sly to me because he is the opposite of that. But yeah, Christopher Reeve was like, I remember him Superman, and I remember weirdly Ghostbusters was like, but that's not superhero.
No,
but
I wouldn't say that's
but I'd say
genre.
Superman was probably
definitely, and then like early Batman or the
oh yes, the Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton,
yeah.
Batman, yeah.
And that guy that can't speak anymore.
Val Kilmer, Val
yeah.
Kilmer.
He was pretty good. I'm just being really hurtful to people I really like.
You're just
here,
so
you know?
ableist for
Yeah,
superheroes.
I know. It's fucking. I mean, all I'm saying is a lot of superheroes don't end up in the best.
Not so
health,
super anymore.
You know,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's a pedo there somewhere too. Is there one of Lex
Is there?
Luthor's somewhere? I don't know. Maybe I was making that up.
Oh no, yeah,
probably.
Kevin Spacey.
Well, he wasn't a pedo, was he? Just a perv.
No, I think it was the guy was underage. Was he?
Well, there you go.
I don't know. I'm not. I could be making
Yeah.
this up.
Well, what we will say. Listen, who am I to say? But I'm going to say it on record. Kevin Spacey, the nonce alert. There we go. We'll call him a nonce.
You're getting so much use out of that.
Yeah, I know.
nonsense, bro.
It's like nonce alert. Yeah. Then there was actually a guy, I don't know, there's some guy from here maybe, I think, said that he was like trying to touch his bum and stuff. And then when I saw the guy, I was like,
No.
nah, I don't think so. And that's so sly of me because I'm saying like Kevin Spacey's only going for sexy young guys.
Yeah.
You know, and
It
but
may
I
be
mean,
a compulsion. You don't know.
yeah, but if I'm Kevin, let's do a new show called In the Shoes of the Nonce, right? If I'm Kevin Spacey, I'm an A-list star. I'm gonna be, you know, nonce on cutie pies. You know what I mean? I'm not just a regular like nonce guy on the dole. You know what I mean? Like I can have standards. I can have nonce standards. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
not.
it's like when you're a millionaire, you're drinking Evian.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you're drinking that. What's that called? Is it ASOS in the the glass bottle?
Oh, is it ASOS or
Something like that.
it's something
No,
like
that's
that,
somewhere
yeah.
you buy shit. Yeah, but or like Fiji water. You're drinking
Fiji
that.
water,
you know,
yeah,
you're not.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not just drinking tap water.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
You're going to enjoy it. Like Epstein. You know, he was the multimillionaire, people trafficking, nonce pedo rape dude.
Yeah, multi-hyphenated.
Multi-hyphenated guy. But I guarantee, you know, the people he bring to that island, you know, they're all sexy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to go far in the next top model.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not just going to be like fucking swamp donkeys in there. You know, you're going to be like, and like you're Prince Andrew. You know, you're royalty. You know, you're not going to be nonce and uglies. You know what I mean? Which is, by the way, the name of literally my new game show, Nonce and Uglies. There we go. So, but I don't know, how do we even get onto that?
Oh fuck, man!
I
It's
do not know.
it's transcendental. Who knows? This is like a trip.
It is.
Every podcast is a trip.
Maybe there's an idea. We should just do a podcast where we just take like hallucinogenics and see where it goes.
I was literally talking to my therapist about microdosing LSD, like
Nice.
literally just before this today.
And are you?
No, not at the minute.
And
I'm
did your
thinking about
therapist
it.
say it's a good idea or
No,
maybe not?
they advised against it, just because of the legalities behind it.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's one of those things, like, there's nothing funnier, I don't think, in, like, than what like, is happening to your body when you're on, like, hallucinogenics compared to what you think's happening.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
because, like, one of the funniest scenes in a movie ever, and I just love it. You've seen Tenacious D in Pick of Destiny.
Of course, yeah.
You know where Jack Black's, like, floating down this really sweet river, and it just cuts and he's fucking going down the rapids. I love that shit. That is so funny to me. Shit, I love movies. I have spent my last 2 nights watching movies and reading books. Like, how
yeah?
good is that?
That's pretty good.
Like, New Year's resolution for me, my friend, was reading a book a month because I don't read enough.
Oh, okay.
So I'm balls deep in a book at the minute.
Oh, what you reading?
I'm reading The Writer's Journey
Oh.
by Vogler, which
Ooh.
is like it's fucking that much, but
Thick boy.
it's going to help me
Oh, yeah?
a lot with my work. But then when I finish that, I'm going to do, like, there's a few self-help books in there. There's maybe well, I think there's one fiction it could
yeah?
be, and that's To Kill a Mockingbird because it's my favourite
classic,
book.
yeah.
So I want to read that again. And then I just thought, you know what, I'm going to watch some good films because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been a while. Like, I'm a cinephile, which is not a nonce, by the way. But I love...
Yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
brand of nonce.
No, it's not like one of the D-list nonsense. You know, it's not like one of the subcategories. You know, I'm just a guy who loves film, and my old housemate and I used to go to cinema all the time. Like, I see, you know, the Omniplex or the Omnipass at the Omniplex cinemas now, and I go, "You fucks! If this was 10 years ago, I would have milked the money out of you guys."
Man, to be honest, it's the best investment I've ever made.
Yeah, and like how many?
100%.
Like, what is it a month?
$9.99.
$9.99, and that's what, 2 cinema trips?
4.
Four?
One a week.
What do you get out of that? Oh, I meant to say, like, that's what. But if you're just paying normally, you'd pay. That's 2 trip, like a trip and a half.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you're getting your money back.
No,
sort of
actually, it
thing?
might. It depends what time you go. That could
Yeah.
be like enough for just one cinema ticket and like peak times.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
So
Like.
it is, but I discovered on Disney, because again I would have just been a Netflix guy, and then I realized, like, some films are like, I went to see The Menu at the cinema on Sunday, and then I saw on Disney Plus, it's on Disney Plus already. I couldn't get my head around how that was happening, but then I saw another couple of films. I was like, I had to watch. So my friend Daniel, who was my big cinema partner, he now like works in film but lives over in London and stuff, and I only get to go with him when he's back because Catherine and I have very different tastes.
Oh yeah.
You know, in film, and I'll go to watch what she wants because I'm civil. But like I like dark thrillers. I like horrors and I like comedies, and she just doesn't.
Yeah.
So So when I went to watch The Menu with him, I enjoyed that. I thought it was a bit weird. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it.
I did. I just couldn't get the reason. I just didn't get why they were doing what they were doing. I just didn't get like why is nobody stopping him. You know what I mean? It was just a wee bit like kind of stop him.
It's my suspension of disbelief going like, no, I wouldn't mind if everybody.
Because like there was one film that I went, nah, not for me, and it was like, and I had to twist my view on it because I love him as a guy, but is Quentin Tarantino, I like him as a director. Didn't like Inglourious Bastards because I was like, that didn't happen to Hitler, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. But of all things, no. But then when he did was Once Upon a Time in America or in Hollywood,
yeah,
I thought it was 10 out of 10, but then I had to just go, that's also not what happened in Tate Murders. But the fact that Brad Pitt pitched a tin of dog food into that woman's face from here was 10 out of 10 funny to me. I enjoyed it, so that was fine. But then I went on so my friend Daniel, and sorry if this is boring, guys, I don't care.
Yeah,
there you go. I'm on LSD. Fuck yous.
We're microdosing here.
Yeah. So he said to me, in fact, when I looked on Disney, this is this is how my films went. So what's a film a night? The Menu on Sunday. On Monday, The Banshees of Inisherin.
Class.
Which
did you
honestly, potentially in the top 5 of my favourite ever films.
There we go.
I loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
I just thought to myself, there's a movie with just simple, funny storytelling, dark humour, but also had me just totally gripped. And again, not even a criticism, but if I hadn't seen him writing on the calendar, I would have thought it was just modern day.
Yeah,
you know, and it was like 1923.
Yeah, it's like in the mainland, the like Irish Revolution was happening or something like that, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and also another slight criticism, Colin Farrell's hair was a bit too current. You know, I would have liked to see him a wee bit slicked up, but I just loved it.
Oh, what's your name? What's your guy's name? He was in it. The young guy.
Barry Keogh.
Barry Keogh. Yeah, his accent to me, I was like, I don't know. That doesn't sound, accurate. Yeah. But like, who am I? Like, I'm not from there.
Yeah, so Barry Keogh. Is it Barry Keogh, is it?
Yeah, it's something like that.
He is great. He's the Joker, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's like a great actor. But it was just the accent that threw me. Like, but
then how
Americanized.
How his story arc ended, I was like, oh no, Barry.
Oh yeah, that was grim as fuck. Like.
But then it was everything about it. I love. I feel like I can relate to a lot of old men, and I feel like.
Would you relate with Brendan Gleeson's
Gleeson's character? Yeah,
oh, really?
I was like, he's just a belligerent old man that's decided himself, don't want to be your mate anymore. But obviously Colin Farrell's character was your favourite in it. Like, but then the stuff he was doing, you're like, mate, just stop doing that. Like, just definitely stop doing what you're doing. And then, but I just loved it. And afterwards I was like, that is. But then like, I enjoyed In Bruges.
See, I've never actually fully sat through that.
It's good, but I preferred The Guard. Have you seen it?
No,
it's
don't think so.
Fucking hilarious too. But then they did another one that was about like maybe a priest.
Calvary.
I didn't like it.
I'd never watched David McSavage, isn't it?
Yeah, nice. But
comedian guy.
Didn't like it.
No, I haven't seen it. I need to give it a watch.
But no, I didn't like that. But I loved The Banshees of Inisherin. And then the next night, so last night, Catherine went to the cinema to see the Whitney Houston film.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, I was like, go with your friend. No, and I say go with your friend. She arranged to go with a friend, didn't invite me, but that's here and there. So I watched a film called Barbarian.
Oh fuck yes!
Have you seen
it's
it?
On my list. It's on my list, man. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, it's something to behold.
It's something else.
It's something to behold.
Apparently, it's a real throwback to like 80s horror. But
you know what? It's weird because that's another thing too. Like, I don't know. You obviously have a similar interest to me, which I always enjoy doing the podcast with you because we end up just going off comedy and talking about sports and fun stuff, but it's ridiculous. It's totally fucking ridiculous, but also classic.
Yeah,
and like
I'm sold.
I feel like it's a decent horror, but also I feel like that's something I've not seen in a long time. It's a decent horror film because I think all the tropes are so familiarized with like every film. You can almost be like, this is the order it's going to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. To me, like in terms of like writing, what I like, comedy's obviously what comes most natural and is maybe the most fun to do. But I really in me want to write a good horror film. Like I just want to just write something.
That would be good.
But I just don't know what. You ever have that when you're like, I'd love to sit and do it, but I just don't know what.
Yeah, I would like to write a joke about lobotomies, but
Yeah.
I sit down and I try and write something. I put it in the work in progress show that I was doing, and I was just listening to a podcast that I was interested in about the medical procedure. I'm like, this is so fucked up that there has to be some form of comedy derived from it.
Well, I think also there must be some sort of record we've done this podcast, because this is now 2 weeks in a row in which I've discussed lobotomies. And I guess,
Serious?
yeah, I think Andrew Ryan and I were chatting about lobotomies last week, and now we're chatting about lobotomies. Like, yeah, in fact, it was Andrew, and we're googling like who, like we were looking at, is there any lobotomy that's kind of gone well?
No, okay. Like, I guess you could probably count Rosemary Kennedy's one as a success because she didn't die from it.
Right, okay, yeah.
But she was left in a vegetative state.
Because we went through a lot of lobotomies, and it's like, oh, ended up dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a funny sketch.
Yeah.
Or something in the movie. The guy saying, man, I fucking feel great.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a weird thing, and like how that stuff. I mean, I'm not getting into it again this week, but it's bad stuff that goes on.
I learned a lot about the history of it. It is crazy, and up until like 1976 was widely available in like most hospitals in the US, and is also not technically illegal these days.
Nice.
I mean, you could ask to get one,
but you know, there are people who do weird shit.
Oh yeah, like body modifications.
Yeah,
and shit
like that sort of stuff. There must be a point. Like, there's this guy who like wants to be called, I think, the Black Alien, and like he's just his whole skin tattooed, basically black, his eyelids and or his eyeballs, and he's had like things put under his skin to give him like lumps here, and he's had like his nose cut off, so it's just like holes into his face. He's had like his tongue. Like, let me show you him, because I think he featured on my segment on Patreon that once existed called the Champions League of Weird, which is where I had a list of the weirdest people in the world, and literally every week
he definitely sounds like a Ballon d'Or winner.
Went through. No, he was. I don't even know if he made it in, actually, like, because he might have come after that. Black Alien man body modification. Such an old guy. Black Alien man body modification. Let's see what. But like, see with those things, like, I was looking at stuff today too, like, and you see like a lot of, like, say the Jersey Shore people and the like Geordie Shore people. Like, there's this guy here, right? This is the Black Alien dude. So like, he just wants to be like a full. So
he is 100% missing his nose.
Yeah, so he's missing his nose. He's got no ears. You got no ears, mate. And like, he just wants, like, there'll come a point where he will go, maybe that's not a sweet look. And like, with that, he can look however you want, but your nose is there for a function.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, until he's cut up his lip, like, that's got to be agony. And his hearing, it's terrible as well. It's like fucked up. But yeah, those, like, there must be something, like, so with those like Geordie Shore women who are like young women, and they've had a lot of work done their face, and their probably faces haven't even like fully developed yet, and like, for whatever reason they think, oh, like, whether it's keeping up with, you know, what they view as the body expectations or whatever, it's like, it's like, you don't need to be doing that to yourself. It's weird.
It's one of those things, like the Geordie Shore and Jersey Shore thing, kind of, I must have missed that boat, but you know what, the one show that I did watch of that kind of kin was The Valleys.
Right.
Did you ever watch that one?
Yes.
But it's that, but in Wales.
Yeah.
And
yes, that's right.
The only difference was the nightlife didn't sound as appetizing as what it would do in like Newcastle or New Jersey. Like,
but it was like,
weird,
but that's the thing. See, now I prefer Jersey Shore now, when they're all like near 40. You know, and they're like, they have their kids and they just meet up and just be friends.
Yeah,
and
like
be,
Snooki's an attorney now or
yeah,
something.
and it's like, because she, like, it's wild to see, but you look at it and go, that's okay. But like with the Geordie Shore ones, you're like, guys, you don't need to, like, don't have like Michael Jackson noses and all. Like, don't do that to yourself. Like, you're beautiful. You know, you don't need to do this shit. And it just worries me. Like, you know, it's like, you don't need. And but yet, my point is, have you ever seen anybody that's had like a proper like facelift or whatever, and you go to yourself, they look way better? No, because afterwards they all kind of look like this. How do I look? You're like, not sweet. But like, these doctors are still doing that. Like, it's, you know, it baffles me.
My brother was working. So he plays like ice hockey on like during the weekends and stuff like that. The other week, and it was there. Oh, fuck. I actually don't know if I can tell this. He was a Christmas party beforehand, and they it was for the hockey team, and they were talking about going just to the rink, and they ended up like getting dressed and like playing hockey, but they were all pissed. Yeah. And they went out on the ice. My brother takes a hit and falls down, and like the kind of like, you know, road rash when you come off a motorbike. Yeah. But his face. And he's just recovered from like all the scabs coming off his face and stuff like that. I'll show you the photos; they're quite disgusting, and it genuinely made him look a bit better. It was, I don't know, it was a conversation starter around his face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he having any work done?
No,
he's come back like a look.
Yeah, just like Two-Face. It was so weird. Like,
oh, I don't know. I just think like it's a weird, because like nothing would, like another thing, and again, this is something obviously I've looked at great detail as a man losing his hair. It seems like call me like ill-informed or somebody has not seen I've never seen a good hair transplant. Like they all just look like wigs.
No, there was
apart from Antonio Conte, he's the only one that I've ever seen him gone.
Was Wesley Sneijder one as well, or is he bald now?
I think he's bald again.
Oh yeah.
But like Brian McFadden, right? I saw Brian McFadden doing one of those adverts that people do nowadays when you open up your computer. Are you 36? Do you live in Bangor? Do you have 2 young girls called Holly and Matilda? You need life insurance. I'm like, oh fuck, that is me, right? And then it's just always so targeted by life insurance. But what do you see? Like it's like, like the only way I can describe this look is like, remember John Travolta just wore the wigs, and you're like, that's a wig John Travolta has, and you're like, yeah, it is a wig John Travolta has, because that's a wig. But this is Brian McFadden's had hair transplant.
Oh yeah, that just looks unnatural.
It just looks like a wig, like, and it's always the exact same. Like to me, it's like if you're going to pay the money to have a hair transplant, you just stick a wig on there to look like it's that blatant. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I just think, to me, this year's the year I just shave the hair down. I think I'm going to do it, but I got a bit belligerent with it because I wanted to shave it before I got married. She's like, keep it for the photos, and now I'm like, nah, I'm keeping it forever. I'll do the full Terry Nutkins before it's gone, you know. But I don't know. I just think like certain degree of like, just there's a point of loving yourself maybe and wanting to feel a bit better. Which for me, I need to lose a bit of weight, and I'm focusing on that this year. But other than that, it's not for like my appearance. It's so, you know, I can like walk the kids down the aisle and shit like that, be a grand, all that stuff. But I just never have looked at myself and gone, I need to look better, or I want to look, you know, I need to have, and like to have that, I think it is a bit of must be a mental problem people have.
Oh yeah. You know? It's self-image at the end of the day, isn't it?
But then like some people who decides that is a great look, you know, it's like, I don't know.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
It is, you know, not everyone's perfectly like me, you know. And how do we, again, like, what I love about this, we started off talking about these great films, and now I've ended up
talking about how beautiful I am.
Yeah, and like, loving yourself's the key, isn't it?
Hey,
you know, and as somebody, you have had not any like plastic surgery, but you've had surgery, which has obviously been quite
intrusive.
And imagine after that, you just got a buzz, and you were like, I want more.
Oh my god, like a surgery addiction.
Yeah, you're just like, I need
fuck. More. I don't know. It's. I'm not going to say it's fun, but it is good crack. The like couple of days after surgery, and you're coming like because
long gear flat out.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much controlling your own morphine is fantastic. If you ever have the chance to do it, 100% do it.
Yeah,
because
we're going to do it on Patreon.
It was genuinely like it felt like a remote for a TV that I just like just kept pushing every time.
You're like, I can't. No, there's no fucking reception here. But was there a point then with that? Did you feel any different having that once you were kind of like back to what I want to say is as normal as you can, like without taking medication, and maybe the pain had stopped? Did you feel any different? Like,
do you mean like I felt like I still needed it?
Yeah, or did you feel like, it feels, you know, like a bit better?
They kind of, when I was in like the hospital bed the first time, and it was like 2 weeks after I got out of the coma, they were just like about ready to send me out, and they gave me diazepam and a couple of different other pain medications to take away. So that's just like the lesser form of what I was on in the hospital. So it was almost like weaning myself off it until I didn't need it at all anymore. And I think just because I was in that pain after the surgery, like it was sweet. There wasn't like any dependency on it, because once you were able to heal up like properly, then you're golden.
But did you see before you had it? Were you like ever feeling like any pains in your chest or anything?
Oh
Or
yeah,
were you-
yeah, 100%.
yeah. And how did that feel? Like, oh,
Oh, it's 100%. I was like, I'm having a heart attack right now.
right, okay. Because like I had a week off last week. I was like, I hope this is a cold. Otherwise, I think maybe I'm having a bit of bother here. And then
Oh, yeah.
it's okay. I think it was just COVID. Don't worry about it. We're all fine. We're all better now. But again, I think the older I get, the more you sort of worry about your health and what you do to yourself and how you treat yourself. So my point is once you had the operation, did you be like, the pains have stopped?
No, it's still here. It's still here. It's still quite a constant thing.
Fuck's sake.
I know. This is so weird. I've literally talked about 2 or 3 of these subjects with my therapist today.
What you
This
don't
is
know
like a
is
lead on.
I'm actually paid for by your therapist. I'm an outreach project. I'm just get you on here and like just follow these topics and it's what else did you talk about your therapist?
I asked if she had a good Christmas.
Oddly, that's my next topic of conversation. Yeah.
Weird that. Yeah, no, my Christmas was good. How was yours?
It was weird. I want to say it was good. But
Good, weird or bad?
I don't know, because I don't feel like I fully was in the festive spirit, because it's, again, I'm a 16-year-old guy's brain in a full adult's body. My kids had a nice time, but we had people around, so there's a lot of like house tidying, things getting ready.
Oh,
We're
man.
having some renovations done in the house. So like there's you're on to the contractors and all, like, what are you gonna be done before Christmas? Was it fuck, right? So things like that, you're stressing out, but fucking everyone's a panic, everyone's a rush, and then next thing you know, Christmas is over and you're like, what's...
Yeah, it's a bit anticlimactic at the end.
So yeah, I feel like my lesson will be I'd like to be better prepared next year. Then again, everyone was getting all kinds of flus and colds, and
Yeah.
Catherine was sick, I was sick for a bit. It was just like we were always almost like just one of us was looking after the kids flat out. So one was not well and the other was just fucking exhausted. And so it was nice whenever it was like switched off time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But then there's some other things going on as well, like family trauma. Not trauma, that's a dramatic word, but just some family issues going on that you were like, stresses and why. But then it's all over and you're like, looking back on it, it'll be probably a nice Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Give
it time to
it's like,
reflect.
yeah,
It'll
looking
be
back,
fun.
you'll probably, because like Christmas Day was good fun. And then Boxing Day we went to my parents, which was good because I took the opinion of like, I'm just reverting to my teenage self here.
Yeah,
And
playing
mum and dad can do everything. I'm just going to sit and relax for a day, let the kids run around, wreck the place. But it was good. But then it's like, when you're self-employed, you're like, I want to get to work.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready for 2023 now. I ate and drank far too much over Christmas, so now I'm just like, I want to detox, I want to feel better about myself,
Get some green tea,
and get
that
some
kind of thing.
just exercise, move. So that's the way it was. But yeah, looking back, it was good. What about yourself?
It was super busy, kind of like yours, because my mum's work. My mum, not singular mum, works for a charity called Homestart, which helps with
No, home start well, actually. Yeah.
with like people who have like babysitting needs and stuff like that. So there was a bunch of people my mum was looking after that ended up coming around on like Christmas and Boxing Day. So between the 2 days we had maybe like 30 plus people over to the house,
Wow.
including like family and friends and stuff like that. So yeah, it was completely mental.
Did you enjoy that, or were you just
I
like,
loved it. Yeah, they're lovely people that my mum works with, and my family are okay, I guess.
Yeah, 'cause I was going to say, like, if my mom tried to pull some shit like that on me, I'd be like, Mom, come on.
It's Christmas.
No, that's not.
No, I like it because the Christmas after my dad died, we were like, okay, we're going to do something special, and we ended up
Harlem
going.
Globetrotters.
Yeah, they were just, instead of like a barrage of shots at his funeral, they're all just shooting 3-pointers. We were like, right, we'll go to the States and we'll spend Christmas over with our friends and family over in. They lived in New Jersey, but we were like, fuck it, we'll stay in Times Square. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
We ended up staying in a hotel there, and I don't know why I'm saying the story now. We get a call on Boxing Day to say that my granddad died.
Wow.
And we were away in America, and we were like, right, we'll try to get like flights sorted. And by the time we got home, my uncle had buried him. And to this day, we don't know where the funeral is because we don't talk to that side of the family.
Yeah. After that, or just
no, it's like this was like way before then.
don't like. He went through the process of a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. I thought your uncle just went, fuck it, I'm burying him.
Yeah, no, that's essentially what it was.
Just like, Is he potentially? Is he in the rye, your uncle?
Hey.
Where's your granny? He's disappeared.
Exactly. Why is he still getting his pension?
Yeah,
Who knows?
exactly.
But yeah, so if we go on that kind of totem pole of Christmases, this Christmas was class.
Yeah, wow, like that is a bad Christmas. You know?
Yeah. No,
Have
it's
you-
good. The States
yeah.
was class. We had a great time over in the States.
Yeah.
Apart from the
People just-
earth-shattering thing of my dad and granddad dying in the same year.
But was
grand.
it was the granda who died your dad's dad?
No, my mum's dad.
That's that shit one.
Oh yeah.
You know, because then like obviously, that's a sad time for your mum. That's a double whammy right there.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
100%.
not nice. Yeah,
Why are all the men in my life dying?
yeah,
Turned it into a bit. Great stand-up.
yeah. No, it is. That's the beauty of being a stand-up, isn't it? When something shit happens, you go, I get something out of
Oh
this.
yeah, exactly. I can like manipulate this trauma into something
One
funny.
day there'll be something here. You know, when the years pass and the sands have settled, there'll be something about this. But
Oh fuck.
no, so I don't know. So I think, man, the kids were happy, but they're both dicks. So
Yeah.
you know, they're at the age where they're like, the oldest one knows what's going on, but then sometimes as a child we'll just say stuff and you'll be like, you have no idea how hard Santa worked for this present for you to go, what else is there? You're like, that's all you've asked Santa for? Yeah, that's all. And the wee one just is more interested in like the fucking packaging.
Oh, I love that.
And you're like,
that's the best age of kids. Like when
Yeah.
they're like, they the things they appreciate are the things that cost absolutely no money.
Yeah.
That's always the best. Like,
And it's like, but that's the thing too, is you want to spoil your kids, but then you don't want them to be spoiled. It's a hard act to fucking balance, you know, man. It's but like, see, today there was a guy who was doing a bit of plastering in my house, and he was like, come in, and he saw obviously I had the two daughters and stuff, and he was like, oh, I have two daughters as well. And it's like, oh, what age are they? And he's like, fucking 30 and 25. And I was like, oh, does it get any easier? No. It just gets fucking different, he goes. I went, all right, okay. And he was like saying that one of his daughters had split up with a boyfriend and had to move back into his house, and he was just like, they just think that I have a fucking money tree out the back and they just have the washing and the dryer on, and he's like, I just can't cope. But it's like, I thought whenever they got to like 10 and 11, life would be sweet.
Yeah.
They could just hang out with the mum, go shopping, like the mum, my wife. They just hang out with the mum, their mum, you know, and like go out shopping and stuff, and at the weekends, and I could just like have the time to myself to walk the dog and like sit and be grumpy and stuff. But alas, not. So I think basically once you have kids, all your dreams are.
It's
Are
not just
gone.
the 18. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's weird for me is like I found since I've had kids, I've got better at my job. You know, I think my stuff I talk about's more like, and like I like to get into this. I like to talk about this more than I did pre-kids. You know, which is mad. Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I go like, I don't know how anybody would have the like energy to do anything after like having like, it's okay me looking after the kids for a couple of hours, but after that, even that, and I'm just sitting there reading a book while they do homework and start their tea and stuff like that. It's nothing that intensive. Picking them up from school, it's fine.
Yeah.
But like having to do like every single thing, make sure everything's ready for school, all the letters are signed, all the like non-uniform days are paid for. I can do it, man.
No, I'm stressed out about tomorrow already, because I have a couple of days a week where Catherine works. So she works, obviously she's a nurse, works long hours, but she disappears before they wake up. So that means I have to do like the school run.
Oh yeah.
With the 2-year-old who does not want to be carried anymore. So she just is like,
Strong
you see this cut on my head?
Uh-huh.
That's her. I told her she couldn't have something yesterday, and she just fucking attacked me in the nails. And I was like, so like I'm thinking like the plan I need to have like a outfit set for, need to be able to like feed one whilst like, so I'll feed the 5-year-old her breakfast. I get up, get her dressed first, feed her, then I'll go and get the 2-year-old, and then I'll have to like not feed her, and then just get her dressed. So by that time so then I'll leave Holly to school, and I'll take Matilda to my mum and dad's, because they're looking after her tomorrow, so I can do work. So I'll have to do it, and then I'll be like, you can feed her now. So then that'll give them a bit of time, and then I get stressed out about them coming home. I'm like, oh no, and then ready for another day. But see, if you have the 2 parents to do school run, piece of piss. See, by your own, and then you have to park close to school, and the closer you get, the better to carry her. And then she'll start screaming, and she's strong enough to like fight, and all. It's like fucking stressful. So I think what I'm saying is like, we shouldn't have spent the last maybe year out on our doorstep clapping nurses. They're selfish. They should maybe start working after a school run is done. You know, like Catherine said to me, she's like, I've never actually done a school run with both of them. I'm like,
Oh.
You damn fucking. And then she had to do
Lap
one,
of luxury.
but she had to do a collection one day. I was doing a podcast, and she'd do a collection during the ice and snow. And she's like, I
Oh,
couldn't,
shit, son.
and I was like, I was stressed out.
Mm,
And I was like, you know what,
fucking
fuck
hate
it.
driving in snowman. Cannot do it.
Driving it, and I don't know about you, but I have found myself getting terrified of walking in snow now. I'm like, if I go down, I'm fucked.
No.
You know, I don't want to break anything.
I reckon I could get like a replacement hip and still be okay until like I'm 30 this year.
Yeah.
This is probably like the cutoff for me.
For what?
For hip replacement if I fall.
All right, okay. I thought you were just being like, this is it.
This is it, lads.
Once I hit 30, I'm signing out. Cheers. But do you feel any kind of like strange, like reflective moments about becoming 30? Is it like it's a milestone age, but do you hit it now and be like, fuck, I want to be doing this, or have any things?
No, I'm just very happy to be doing what I'm doing.
Nice.
It's one of those things where like I was never told like how serious the heart condition was when I was growing up, so it was only when I was like 17 I got told like, yeah, you're pretty lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
And did you ever say to anyone like, oh, well, fucking cheers for the heads up, guys?
No. It was just like, oh, okay, this is news that I'm processing right now.
Yeah, and like, well, your dad's out fucking shooting hoop with the Globetrotters, and it's like, yeah.
Can I play?
That.
No, you don't have the cardio for it.
it.
But yeah,
But
good
no.
times.
But you know what? Do you find the older you get, the sort of younger you feel you are in the grand scheme of the world?
Guess so. I don't know.
Pretty deep that was.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm going to need a coffee and a shit to figure this one out. Like,
Because I definitely think, like, if I were to reflect and go back to like talk to my 18-year-old self, I would probably be like, I need to be doing all these things by the time I'm 20. You're like, nah, you're still a pup.
yeah,
you know,
chill. Yeah.
I think now I'm looking at it being like, I would like to be at a certain point by the time I'm 40. I think so my target. That's 4 more years, easy. But then I'm still like, oh, like I was like, whenever I was getting to 35, I'm like, oh, it's not closer to 40. Now I'm like, oh, I'm closer to 40. Shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm paying into a grant fund now with me and all my friends. We're going to go to Oktoberfest and for the celebrated group 40th, which will be a lot of fun. And we're also paying into a group fund for our 50th, and we're going to Vegas, and I can't wait. It's going to be great, you know. And I'm
just counting down.
Yeah, but you know what? That's it. You know, I think the older you get, the more you appreciate things.
Oh yeah.
And see, when you have kids, like I did not appreciate my free time at all before I had those wee fucks. And see now, it's like, oh, like last night when Catherine went to cinema, it's like I can do what I want.
Yeah.
The kids are in bed. I'm going to watch Barbarian. And it just was great. You know, it's just a nice time. I drank tea and I ate, Roundtree's like sports mix. And it was nice. And I had a caramel bar and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good. Good.
And I'm on a diet too, so how did that work? Who knows? But I got my steps and I did a workout, so I didn't care.
There you go.
So there we go. So speaking of things I don't care about, listeners have asked some questions. So let's get into it, shall we?
Let's do them. I always like the questions that you guys get.
Yeah, I
on the
mean,
podcast.
they are a lot of fun most of the time. Jack's just come in with a late one saying, would you fight in the comedians boxing if you were fighting Paddy Raff? No, because I don't want to get punched in the face. That's the reason. Like, here's the thing too. See, with comedians boxing now, obviously you're medically exempt, I assume.
So do you know what's happening?
What?
With me in the boxing?
I think I do. I think I've heard.
Yeah, okay.
Is it you and Billy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm doing, but Colin keeps sending me photos of like guys in BSM gear, and it's like
That's not related to the boxing
no,
thing
but it's
at all,
like
by the way.
us at the boxing. I'm like, what have you got up your sleeve? Because I sent him a picture being like, he was like, we should wear suits and whatever we're doing, just be.
Yeah,
and I sent him a
Don
picture
King.
of, you know, like Big Punisher and Fat Joe.
No.
I'll show you Big Pun and Fat Joe, right? I sent this to Colin. Like, this will be us at the boxings if we're wearing a suit. Hold on.
That's mine and Johnny's new solo show name.
What's that?
Big Pun.
There you go. So that's me and Colin turn up the boxing, and then that's what he says he's gonna wear.
That's quite reminiscent.
It's a lot of fun, you know. It's a lot of fun. So, I mean, no, my thing is, I don't know. I just had no desire. Now I'm watching the training and stuff. Be like, that side of it looks fun.
Yeah, it looks like good crack.
You know, but I mean, I just don't feel like that is. You know, like it's like, I'll give you the only way I can compare it. When I played rugby as like a school kid, I was decent. I was a decent rugby player. I could rug.
Yeah,
I could rug a bit.
Good rug with
and
the
then when I got in my mid-20s, I was fitter.
Mm.
And I was more like, you know, and I thought someone reached out and was like, would you like to rug again? I went, I'm thinking better now. I feel it in me. I'm like, I need to rug again.
Yeah.
And I rugged again, and I was like, yeah, I'm fitter and better. But the team I was playing with at the time, which is so shit, that every time I played on a Saturday, I was like, all I do is hurt myself to make myself lie in bed for the rest of the afternoon, just like
Can't move, yeah.
sore. So I was like, you know what? That's not for me.
Yeah. I do that
But-
with a five-a-side.
Yeah, but like I just noticed that. You know, there was nothing in me when the boxing's like, you know, I don't need to prove. I don't feel like I need to
Yeah.
prove anything, and I'm like, I don't have the desire to punch anybody or.
I don't know if you've been asked this before, but if you could genuinely pick, so say, like another one was happening, you get to pick your opponent. Who would it be?
Another one.
And we'll extend it to the whole of the UK and Ireland, so it's not just the Northern Irish comedy scene.
And is this someone I dislike or someone I want to...
Just someone you think you would have a nice, good old bout with.
Well, someone I would like to see in it was Tommy McCarthy. I'd like to see Tommy McCarthy fight somebody.
Just be a bloodbath.
I think that would be a lot of fun. In fact, I would almost like to, like, remember when Vince McMahon and Donald Trump picked fighters? I'd like Tommy to be my comedian to fight somebody. But I just don't know who. I don't know who. There's no one I'd really like to... I'd maybe fight Tom Binns now because he's a big nonce. So I'll probably get in with him and just give him a battering like now just for being the way he is. But I don't really know. Like, there are people who, you know, obviously I'm not friends with, and people maybe I dislike on a personal level, but there's no one I'm like, I want to actually batter. Is there anyone you would like to? Who would you pick?
So, for a good fight, I think me and McKegney would make a good fight.
Currently?
No,
him with two broken legs.
Him with two broken legs, me with one ventricle working.
Yeah. I mean, you threw Willie in there just for the three-way, you know. He'd just be...
Man, a comedian's WWE style, now that would be something I would be very interested in.
You know what? I that was something I had thought about before many moons ago.
110%.
Like, you know, I could do that. You know, yeah, I mean, I think this has opened the door for other things.
Oh, yeah, the sports entertainment.
But you know what? I'll be honest too, as well as not feeling I need to prove anything, I have had a tooth removed. And teeth hurt me. And I don't want to have my teeth damaged at my age. And that's just something I'm like, you know what?
It's not worth it.
Oh, you wish? I'm like, yeah, don't want to punch in the face, man. You know? And the problem is too, I have a really bad temper. Like, if I lose my temper, I'm just... And another thing is too, I'm quite strong and I can hit quite hard, and I feel like it would be sly on people.
Oh yeah,
you know, and it's like, don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think I would do any specific damage. I just think it would be good crack.
Yeah, I mean, I would do the training. I think I will go to a training session down the line just for the fun of it.
Yeah, just to see what the crack is.
And yeah, I mean, I'll spar with Shane just for the crack. You know, it'd be funny because like he could probably stand about 3 meters away from me and just poke me with his long fingers, and I wouldn't get near him. But if I get in, Tommy punched him, it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, I like the question, Jack. Very sassy. But no, I'm sure Paddy Ralph would be decent. He's an athletic guy, bald head. You know, boxers who are bald often are good. Chris Reese has got one for you, the microdosing man, and he said, "What is it that if you have, you want to share me?" Chris, you've thought about this not enough. Right. What is it that if you have, you want to share me, and if you share, you do not have? So what is it about you that you would want to share, but if you shared it, you could not have it again?
Heart condition.
Right, okay. That's fair.
There you go, buddy. Merry Christmas.
That's fair. Naomi says, Happy New Year, and sent me a link. WWE Hall of Famer punched 50 times in 26 seconds by woman in bizarre video. And Tony Atlas. Wow.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah,
but...
he's like a Hall of Famer, but why is this woman just digging him in the face?
And that's...
I mean, it sounds like...
Yeah, it sounds something completely different than what it is that we're watching. Is he conscious?
Yeah. He's a stonehead though, so... Oh, don't kick him in the head.
That looks like a punishment beating.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty.
That is.
And he's 68 years old, Tony Atlas, but he's a big...
That is a crime that we just witnessed.
Yeah, but he is like... There's people out there that I describe as stoneheads. Like, there's a boxer called Vinny Madelone, stonehead. You can just punch him
Great
repeatedly.
boxing name, though.
Yeah, Vinny Madelone, motherfucker. And he looks like he looks like he's in the mob. Another stonehead I could pick. Derek Chisora is a bit of a stonehead. You can batter him, and he never seems to really get That like
Well,
he fought. Oh, who did he fought? Dylan White was just one of the most greatest heavyweight fights I've ever seen. But I was like, guys, just stop hitting each other so hard. But yeah, they just kept going. So I would say obviously Tony Atlas has a touch of stoneheadness about him. Like who was it that was it Joe Joyce maybe? I saw somewhere that like in like tests he has like twice the bone density of an average human. So literally his skull is like just thicker and harder
That sounds
to knock out.
a prime candidate for, was it CTE or CET
Yeah,
or whatever
just,
it is?
Yeah, CTE. That would just be
scary.
And Sean has said tag team match Boytown versus Deckchair and Yums. Who takes the belt? That's a good question. Maybe you should answer that one.
I don't know. No, actually, I do 100% Boytown.
Yeah,
And that's not any shade on Deckchair and Yums. Two funny boys who smoke a lot.
Yeah.
The cardio's not there.
But I do think Boytown has the strength and the speed. So I think like I could see me being like the animal from the Legion of Doom, and Shane being like a Jeff Hardy type guy.
Oh yeah.
And between us, like we
High
do
flyer.
the Doomsday device.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I saw a thing. You know, Bret Hitman Hart.
Yes.
He did like a between the ropes type sit down interview, and so they were talking about. Now I'll tell you, and something I would have enjoyed being a WWE wrestler in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Like they just looked like they had good nights out.
Oh yeah.
They looked like they had a lot of fun.
Yeah, from the stories I've heard about the the plane
ride from hell and
yeah.
things like that. It was great. But he was saying a story that it's like the boys. We were all the boys in a bar, and in the middle of it, Vince McMahon walks in, and he was like, apparently Vince is a bit wild. Like apparently he like is like the number like he. There was a Kurt Angle he tried to have a slam contest on a plane with once. He's like, you can't slam me to the ground, Kurt. And he was like, well, I probably could because I'm an Olympic gold medalist. He goes, if you don't, you're fired. And he was like, oh fuck, son. Like, so apparently he went into the bar. Vince just came and started sculling beers, and he said to the Legion of Doom, he was like, hit me with a Doomsday device in the bar. Now for those who don't know, the Legion of Doom's finisher, the Doomsday device, involves one guy getting an opponent up on his shoulders and the other guy just jumping off the top rope and clothesline, and like it's carnage. So they said that they did that, but they did it very gently. So they did it in the events, so someone like caught him off, and apparently when Brett was there, Jim the Anvil Neidhart was there, and he was like, he said to Brett, he goes, the Heart Foundation wouldn't have done it lightly. And they were like, right, okay, what's that? So their move, I think, is called the Heart Attack, which is where he like the anvil lifts him up over the shoulder like that, and then Brett runs and jump clotheslines him. And he said that like, oh, he couldn't do that. The Vince couldn't do it, and he said he had a couple more shots, a few more beers, and Jim was like, the Heart Foundation wouldn't. And they were like, right, fuck it, I'll go and grab him. So the anvil grabbed him, and apparently Vince just took his head off. Brett just took Vince's head off, and then Vince was on the ground, be like, I fucking love that. So this looks like a lot of fun.
Just standing over him going like, that's for Montreal, bitch.
Yeah. I think that predated Montreal. I think literally he probably just would have killed him if it was Alex says, this is one for me, I think. Why do some people get a Guinness glass in Fealties and some get a non-branded glass? Which one does the Sly guy himself get? It's got to be non-branded.
No, I like the branding.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in Fealties, like
I've been there once.
Yeah, and when was that?
It's for Shane's gig.
Right, but you don't drink, sure you don't at all.
Not a drinker.
But would you have the nicest Guinness of all time? Maybe once.
Non-alcoholic?
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh no.
No, because I went into Fealties, which is very enjoyable, for a wee between Christmas and New Year, we were going for dinner, and I was like, I can't consider myself to have had a nice Christmas until I get a pint of Guinness and Fealties. And the cat was like, we'll go for that. So I went in, ordered a pint, except there's like a wee thing you can order like half a pint of regular Guinness and warm Guinness mixed, because the warm Guinness is not like warm.
Yeah, it's just room temp.
Yeah, but it just is the most delicious taste you'll ever have. So I said we half and half, and I went in, I said to Mark, the guy working at the bar, I was like, can I have, and when I said the words, can I have a half, he was like, what? Like, I've never seen a man be more disgusted at me. I'm like, half? And I'm like, no, half and half. He's like, thank God for that. He was so, but then the non-branded glass, and I'll show you why, like, because I just want you, like, as someone you have drank a Guinness, haven't you?
Oh yeah. As aesthetically, they are nice.
But I need to show you this particular pint of Guinness. Like, tell me that's not the greatest looking Guinness you've ever seen.
My goodness, That
Like,
is that is some concave
it's
on
just
top.
it's just cream. It's just I just want one now. I'm not drinking. I'm doing dry January for no other reason other than the fact that I just am trying to be a bit healthier.
Yeah.
No, but I like, you know, people are like, I'm just better than you because I do. Nah, I just am trying to be a wee bit healthier. But and when I
On
see
the level.
when I see that Guinness, I'm like,
I need that.
I want that
Yeah.
because I got into a little bit of a thing where. I say a little bit of thing, and maybe did it once or twice. I come home from a gig with some gig money, and Fieldy's only takes cash, which I like. It's traditional.
Yeah.
And if I see it open, because it opens random times, I'll occasionally just stop in, just have the one, and go about my merry days. That's nice. But like now tonight, I'm like, if it's open,
Mm.
I don't know.
Nah, not for me.
No.
Nah.
Drinking generally, or
Drink,
just
yeah, so it's been
Well,
about 2 years since my last drink.
you know what? I respect that.
Thank you, man.
Because again, I'm a man who I like a drink, but I could take it or leave it. You know.
To be fair, I drink more non-alcoholic beer now that I've stopped drinking.
Yeah, then you would have beer when you.
Then, yeah, I would drink beer normally.
Matthew says, "Are you heading over to Scotland on tour in 2023? Or will you be stopping off in Edinburgh?" I'm looking into it. Actually, are you like to travel a bit? Do you do any gigs?
You love a bit of travel. I'm doing Red Raw this year.
What about gigs? Red Raw, is that over in Glasgow stand? Is it
Glasgow,
Yeah.
Edinburgh, and Newcastle.
the stands?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. I was supposed to be doing it in January, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't reply to the email in time, so I'm doing it in June now.
Nice. John Joe wants to know: do you think comedians have a get out of jail free card about risque topics? Like if you realise something that you've said goes down like a lead balloon, can you just pull the ejector seat and say, "Hey, I was joking," or what?
I don't know. I don't normally, like, if I was talking about a serious subject, it would not necessarily be in a serious kind of connotation, if you know what I mean.
Yes, no, I get you.
I'm not giving a TED talk about gender inequality.
Yeah.
I would more likely be telling a joke about it.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? I think I just, again, I feel I like to be funny more than that I have a message.
oh yeah,
You know, it's
oh,
like no one really gives a fuck about what I have to say, so who cares?
yeah,
know,
you
let's
might as well
be
just
silly.
laugh at it instead.
Yeah, but I mean, I do think some comedians think, and then I do also think some comedians who maybe aren't great, maybe will say like, "Oh, I'm only joking," but then have a hot take on something that's just not a funny bit.
Oh yeah.
And then they make these things like, well, there's got to be a point to the joke. If you say something, you know, risque or a wee bit whatever, bring it back with something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, don't be doing it just to be like, oh, this will get their attention,
Yeah.
and then the 1-2 punch of I'm doing a completely different joke now.
yeah, like I mean, and again, it's like you said, when you joke about things that are maybe a bit dark, if you feel like you want to joke about it and you can get something out of it, definitely do.
Yeah.
Like I did a bit about depression in my previous show, and it was like some people were like, "Oh, it was hard." I was like, "Yeah, it was," but also I thought it was funny. You know what
Was
I mean?
that the close?
Yeah,
your closer.
but, yeah.
As that is my second favorite of your bits.
Thank you.
Uh,
What's the favourite?
Sucking dick for money.
Yes.
Or sucking dick, not getting paid for it.
Yes, thank you. No,
Aye,
cheers.
that is to this day. I remember the first time I heard that in pugs. I
Yeah.
was like, this is a game changer.
Yeah, no, I like that bit. Don't get paid for that one, just let my hair down. But yeah, still throw that in sometimes. But I'm trying to think of like, because the bit that I was doing as well was about again a serious topic, which I would say if you're ever feeling down, do tell somebody. But my bit was about that I did, but I told my wife about it, and she, instead of being like, "Oh no, don't be doing that," her first response was, "Do you know the admin that's going to cause me if you do that? Like I have to arrange a funeral and blah blah blah." And I was like, "All right, well, maybe I won't then, you know, fucking whatever."
This is the
you
reason
know?
I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
so, but again, obviously that's not a case. That's a bit.
Oh yeah.
But you know, people are probably like, you know, but that, again, you have to be able to, I think, know if you're a good comedian, you know, people's joking or people are joking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whereas some people come on, like I've seen acts before, and they've been like, maybe it's only happened with newer acts who maybe, and I've gone, they don't really know exactly what the craft is yet, so they're saying things that they're like, you're saying this for reaction, but there's no, like, everything. I think everything you say, which is quite ironic because of the fact that I'm about to say, I think everything you say needs to have a point, and I've just spent the last fucking 5 minutes warbling and talking shite, but I think if you're joking, it needs to have a point. And the last question is from Dean. It said, what guests would you like to get on the podcast this year, Dave? Also, what about trying to get Carl Frampton? Would love to see that. He's a gentleman.
Is that two separate words?
Yeah, he is a gentleman.
He's a big Crusaders fan.
Yes, he is actually. Yeah, he did who was it? He was I can't remember. going to say something on my mind, is gone. But yeah, he's a big Crusaders man. But I don't know who would like to get on. I'd like to get Mark Allen on. I think he'd be good. I have someone lined up for the end of the month who I think will be good. Don't want to say who it is yet because you can confirm these things and then they won't happen. But I think he'll be a good guest.
Can I guess who it is?
Yeah.
Is it Niall McGinn?
No, it's not Niall McGinn.
He's just signed for
Glentoran, so maybe I'll try to get him on board.
Oh yeah, I'd watch that.
Had Janet Devlin on the guest
episode
on Patreon there, recorded during the week, and it was honestly brilliant. She was a great guest. So I think the guests are getting good. I'm getting a good calibre of guest, but then as well I feel like I've been doing more regular Sly Guys with guests and it's been fun. Yeah. But again, I do still love to listen to my own voice, so I'll have to do a few solos the odd time too. But I have a guest actually. I'm doing a guest on over Zoom on Friday. Ooh. But it'll be on Patreon, so you guys aren't going to see it unless you subscribe to Patreon for as little as £2 a month. But it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'll tell you who it is once we.
Oh, I'm all excited.
Yeah, because you might, because the thing about it is, if I say, "Oh, have you seen this?" and you go, "No," it'll be so anticlimactic. Whereas if you go, "Oh yeah," it'll be good. So I want to wrap up because we have beds to go to. True. Because it is late and my daughter's actually in my bed scaring the shit out of people. So before we go,
yes,
Jordy.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
Instagram, Jordan Robinson Comedy. In the new year, as in this year now, at the end of January, I'll be on a couple more podcasts that'll be coming out fortnightly / monthly.
Can you tell us what they are?
Yes. Injury Time with Darren Matthews.
Yes.
Back in it.
Good. At
Back
last.
in it. That scared me a little. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit, and you have a dodgy ticker. Shouldn't have done that. I'm delighted. Because you know what? That was one thing I got very fucking annoyed about. I've done podcasts before. I've been guests on a lot of podcasts. I'm a great podcast guest. But I honestly not enjoyed being on a podcast as much as I did Injury Time. It's a great podcast. I'm glad you are finally pulling the fingers out and getting it
back.
Going.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah. Are you doing a video pod or is it going to be?
We're testing the waters. We've changed the whole format of it up, so it is not literally it's like naked. The scores on Sunday. Yeah, we're completely naked, but it's just audio, so you won't know. But yeah, we're changing that up, and I'm also doing another project with Rachel McPeak, where it is a kind of book club version of a podcast.
All right, okay. I was going to say you should call it McPeaks and Troughs. You know the pig heart thing? Yeah,
that's even better.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's called Book, Line and Sinker.
Book, Line, Sinker, there you go.
There
I like
you go.
that.
Funny. I like it.
So that's good. I'm glad to see that. And any shows lined up, anything like that at the minute?
No, I'll be about Belfast. Everything will be on my Instagram, Jordan Robinson Comedy. That's the one.
Well, Jordan, it's been a pleasure as always. And also, next time you come on, you have to have watched the film Barbarian.
It's happening.
I want you to report back. Pleasure, my sir. Thank you very much.
Always,
Take it easy.
I'm the sly guy.